Welcome, friends. It's almost midnight, and you've found your way to the PikeCast. We've covered so many of the books of the most formative writer of our young adult days, Christopher Pike. But there's a new show in town. From the creator of The Haunting of Hill House and Midnight Mass comes the Netflix adaptation of The Midnight Club. For 10 weeks, we'll tackle one episode per podcast in a freewheeling and unbiased chat. So turn down the lights, pop some popcorn, and pull a blanket over you. And ready yourself for the PikeCast, The Midnight Club. Greetings, fellow Pikers, and welcome to the PikeCast, The Midnight Club. I'm Cooper Beckett, and I'm thrilled to be joined by my lovely co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Cassie.
Hi, I'm Becca.
We've switched formats and silliness levels to cover Mike Flanagan's 10-episode adaptation of The Midnight Club, amongst other books. This week, we're delving into episode 2, The Two Danas. We're going to be going through the entire episode, but not beyond, so spoiler warning up through episode 2. If you're enjoying the PikeCast, please do leave us a review on the podcast service of your choice. Welcome back, ladies.
Woo!
Hi.
I am going to be more positive in this episode than I was last week. Just letting you know in advance.
I don't want to hear anything about 90s music slander, okay?
We have one rule for this show.
Wow.
No 90s music slander.
Wow, nothing. Okay. In fact, I don't think I wrote down 90s music slander in this notes here, but maybe.
All right, well, it seems like so far we can keep you along.
At least everything felt like it was of the right era this week. How about that?
Okay.
That's good.
Respect.
Okay, so we got a new logo color. This one is the bright pink and purple logo color, and I liked it a lot.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Let's dive right into Remember Me, which is our plot discussion. So we're going to take you through the whole plot.
Sorry, that was the diving sound. Like when you're diving into a pool.
I got it. Okay. Yeah, yes.
I thought it would add something because we're doing
We are
the show
diving
episodes.
in.
I'm trying to make it more like thematic. And
Yes. I'm with you. So we're in the library. The shadow's in the library, and it wakes Anya up, which means our poor, awesome Anya is seeing the living shadow, which, as we learned last week, is usually happening right around the death time. So I'm not confident Anya is going to be with us too long, which sucks because Anya is, again, the MVP of the episode.
Hold on. Is this a silence because you don't want to say anything, Cassie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
like,
Cassie has to stay silent
Right.
so she doesn't
Right.
quit.
Sorry.
I agree that Anya is MVP.
I'm posting speculation, and Cassie's over there like, I know.
I've just got like my steepled fingers and I'm like,
Yes.
It would be kind of a bummer if we knock her out of the show, though. Because, like...
Well, I mean, remember, the point of the Midnight Club is to show proof of life after death. So if we do lose Anya...
Oh my god, can we get ghostly Anya?
Ghost. Yeah, that's because there are ghosts there in
For
this.
some reason, I didn't think that they were going to get their way. I was like, they're just going to... Never mind, I don't want to make this a depressing show. I really hope that she comes back as a ghost.
well, let's not assume her dead yet.
I think we're good. Okay, yeah, you're right.
She didn't die
She
yet.
didn't. And I think that she's a fan favorite, but they probably didn't know that while recording this. And does Mike Flanagan care about fan favorites? Probably not. I'm trying to remember the other shows and how many people died.
I mean, honestly, in most of his shows, most of the people are dead.
Okay. Makes sense.
Already. Like, before the show even starts, most of them are already dead.
Valid point.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
People, but that shows that people tend to survive after death on a Mike Flanagan project. So, Ilonka is making tea and talks way too much about it.
She's really
And
passionate.
I understand that the moment. That's the point of the moment. But good God, did I get annoyed with that?
She can't read a room, I think, is what's happening.
No, she can't.
It reminds me of me a lot of the time.
I mean, like, imagine being, like, in the 90s, right, and you're a kid, and you find out these really cool things about tea that you never knew about before. I feel like I would be excited to share that information with somebody. And I probably wouldn't shut up either.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd very quickly realize that Anya didn't give a shit.
That's
yeah,
true.
like, but she seems to think she's being earnest for a lot of it, and it's like,
Yeah. So, yeah, and she finds a locket that Anya immediately claims, and presumably was Rachel's, the previous inhabitant of Ilonka's bed. Then we move to Ilonka talking to Dr. Stanton about pre-needs, which are the death wishes. And I did enjoy that. Who was it? Was it Spence that wanted to be fired into a shark tank?
Was it Amish or Amish? Wait, what was his?
It actually fits Amish's character more, but
Right.
I'm not sure which character it was, but wants to be fired into a shark tank. But Dr. Stanton is not Santa Claus, and
so
she could give him a plaque at the aquarium.
That's a pretty big thing too.
That is, yeah. Ilonka is way too obvious about what she wants here. Tell me about patient files. Tell me about the Paragon. And now, can you honestly tell me you two didn't feel that Heather Langencamp was being creepy in this episode?
This scene,
I thought she was. I didn't think she was being creepy. I felt like she was just being secretive about something she was trying to keep to herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like, her face, when she mentions it, her back is turned to her,
Mhm.
and her, like, eyes look up, and then she's like, huh, no, I don't know. I haven't heard about that before. Like, it didn't come as creepy to me. It came as, like, she was not expecting to be questioned about these particular things and did not expect them to come up and does not want to talk about them.
Fair enough. I feel like Ilonka overplayed her hand in this moment, because she then asked about the Paragon cult, and Dr. Stanton seemed even more cagey. Ilonka overplayed her hand. She told Dr. Stanton exactly what she wants to do later.
Right. And I remember thinking, like, should you be telling her everything right now? Like, you could maybe keep some stuff to yourself about why you're here and stuff. Like, give her everything. All right. Like, I think that made me view her as very trusting, which I think fits for her character too. And like where she is in her life and what she's going through. She is very trusting because it goes back to the desperation.
Very true. Yeah. Then we run into Kevin, who wants Radiohead at his funeral.
Respect.
All right.
I was like, super, is this when you slander some music?
No.
Why did they not specify though what song though? Because I felt like it was different vibes.
They did the exit music.
Oh, right.
That's a song, right? Yeah, exit music.
Because I'm like thinking, like, if you put on one song, it could be like, oh, we're like really bump, 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 you know, like kind of like how heavy sounds, like techno sounding sort of stuff. And then other songs, it's like, oh, this is depressing. I feel like I should just like have a beer and sit on the couch and like, which maybe that's more fitting for that.
Well, Kevin wants Radiohead's exit music for a film, but he calls it exit music for a life at his funeral, which is cool. Yeah, I'm not slandering. Give me a break, ladies.
We have to give you the business. That's what we do.
The business.
I feel like that's a different. Does that not mean something else to you, Becca?
No, it just means giving somebody your hard time.
The business?
If I was. What? Why in my head does that mean like a sexual thing? Like giving somebody the business?
No, I'm here. Well, we're both Midwesterners.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe it's different in the Midwest.
So you're telling me people in California that came from Florida are actually very dirty?
I love this very specific niche of in California that came from Florida. Perhaps. I don't know many of them myself, but I know at least one. Yeah. Me.
And for you, giving someone the business is giving them a good hard fucking, I guess.
Yeah, like it's just like, they're gonna go get the business. Like, I don't know. That's why.
So to clarify, Becca, You weren't giving me the business
No, just
Betsy's way. You were
A
giving
hard
me the
time.
business Midwesternly.
I'm giving you a hard time.
Business.
Okay.
Unless Cassie wants to say giving a hard time is also dirty.
No, I mean, well, there could be an argument there, honestly. I could.
I mean, yeah, there could be. Yeah, sure.
I am just picking on Cooper.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Ilonka is worried she came off as a sucker for her interest in healing and being her superstitions. I agree, she did. But Kevin's being nice because I think he kind of likes her.
Cooper's so harsh. She's like, yeah, I agree. You look really
I don't like her so far. I mean, I don't know if it's the actress or the way she's written. I'm not on board with Ilonka so far.
That's fair. I still like her, but it's fair. You can't love everybody. At least you like Anya. There, you have the good
I
sense
do.
to like Anya.
And Amesh. I like Amesh a lot.
Yeah, he made me cry in this episode too.
Cool.
Oh my god, yeah, that scene.
So we take a little side jaunt to a character that we didn't know about before. This is Tristan, and Natsuki is reading a story to Tristan over an intercom about Teresa, Freedom Jack, and Poppy Cord.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
I was so proud of myself for recognizing it.
Those are our Road to Nowhere characters, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Tristan is a very terminal patient, and she appears to be on the first floor, which is what we were talking about last week, where there are other rooms on the first floor, but it seems to be for more important to deal with patients. And I assume that's why Natsuki can't go in, is because she could give an infection.
In a hospice or in a place where there are a lot of sick people, they have like what are called recovery rooms. And they're like, if you can no longer be around the rest of the people because your immune system or anything is too compromised or anything like that, you have separate rooms where you can put them that only the nurses and doctors are really allowed to go in there just for treatment. And then like a lot of the time people will die in those rooms, but sometimes if they get better, they can, then be moved back to their own bedrooms.
Right. Well, it was a nice little moment, and the woman they have playing Tristan certainly looked the part there. So then we move into group therapy. And what seemed initially very silly was actually kind of heartbreaking, with Amesh talking about how he's had every video game system since Atari, and he won't be alive to play the PlayStation or the N64, which are coming out in 6 months and next year. And that, as someone who's been clinically depressed at many times in life, I have thought about things in that way. And that really hit hard. And that really made me connect with Amesh even more than I had in the first episode. So, I mean, he continues to be a really powerful character and actor in this.
I was crying for his little sad PlayStation heart.
Yeah.
Like, he has two really great character moments. This, and when he's talking about his things to do before he dies list.
Yeah.
Like, they're really building him well, I think, as a character.
He's definitely my fave so far.
Oh yeah,
he's my favorite too. I think it's really good too because like even while he's giving that little speech, he's kind of like, "Look, I know this is probably stupid because that's something you would think. You'd be like, I know this isn't a big deal, but it's a big deal to me." And then how like the doctor's immediately there to be like, "Look, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're gonna grieve is okay." Like I thought that was such a good, important thing to have and to include and to mention and like outright say.
And it recognizes the fact that if you're in this grieving mode, like that you're going to die. You've had all these grieving things. You've grieved your family. You've grieved your pets. So today you may be grieving not getting to play the PlayStation because you're constantly in that. And that's one thing that so far some of these characters are really nailing is that constant threat of death that most of us never even consider. Meanwhile, Cherie, a character I can't get a handle on, is talking about her fancy pets. As bitchy as Anya was being in this moment, the way she was being bitchy I really liked. Especially at the end where she's like, I'm lost. This might be real. I can't decide.
I hope we learn that Sherry's been telling the truth this whole time. I think that'd be really cute and fun.
About her little Richard Dean Anderson.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and her macaw is named McIver, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because the subtitles have been wrong on a bunch of things in this series so far. Because I'm old, I watch with subtitles. Because,
no, I do too. Yeah, they are wrong.
And they just said MacGyver, and it's like that sounded like a joke, but the subtitles did not play the joke. So Anya then baits Ilonka in a really bitchy way to talk about her tea. And this gives me my favorite moment. Should I save that to the end? No, I don't need to.
You can just repeat it like I did last week.
This moment gives me my favorite moment from the entire episode when she talks about Venus flytrap extract and then suddenly Seymour suddenly seizured. Brilliant. I love it. No notes.
Yes, good reference.
No notes. Just perfect. Okay, so after group therapy, Ilonka is throwing out all her teas in the dramatic fit of like a tantrum of a child here. And Anya comes in, and now it's all about the performative badassery. And I agree. Anya is doing performative badassery. I think Ilonka's being a little bit of a baby at the same time.
So when that happens, though, Ilonka, she's like, "Oh, you're throwing out your tea already." I'm sorry, that was a really bad accent. I don't know if it went through. I don't even know if I did it, but anyway.
I was so taken aback. I was like, "Whoa, Becca, an accent!"
Just throw it in an accent.
You immediately called yourself on it. I was excited. I was like, "Cool, we're getting into this today."
I really wanted
but immediately apologized for it.
I know, she was immediately like, "That didn't fucking work like I thought it might have."
I really
Becca,
tried.
just commit. Just commit.
It was so good. Yeah, I thought it was not bad. Yeah.
Well, Ilonka responds and she's like, "No, I'm not." Like, but she was.
She says she's not, but she definitely is.
Okay. I was like, did I miss something? Because she was definitely throwing it away.
And then she definitely makes tea later. So I'm really uncertain here.
So maybe no. Maybe she was taking it somewhere because remember right after this she goes to the woods and she's gathering water from the spring. So maybe she was just like, "Fuck you don't like my nature gathering. I'm going to go drink my tea in the woods." Like maybe that was her whole thing. Maybe she had a water stick in there.
But she was pouring it into the garbage.
Oh, I thought it was her backpack.
Oh, maybe. I mean, she put the bottle in her backpack, but I'm pretty sure she poured the tea into the garbage. Now, it's possible she could have already made little tea bags and such, but yeah.
Maybe she had some of that good sleepy time in the cabinet, and she was like, "There's no way, bitch, I'm not throwing this shit away. I don't care what you say about it." And then with the rest of the stuff, she was like, "All right, I got this shit on Etsy. It's okay. Exactly. It can go." Like, well, maybe not in the 90s.
Well, 90s version of Etsy was
flea market.
Yeah, flea market. Really. Yeah.
She got it from the flea market.
So we have an annoyingly on the nose moment here. Ilonka says, "No one is dying as hard as you are." Anya says, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker." That's great. There's a Die Hard poster in the background.
That is so cute. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so Anya has a Die Hard poster on her wall. I don't buy it, but okay.
When she said yippee-ki-yay, I was like, why did she say that? And now you're like explaining it. So
I guess out of context that would seem really fucking weird.
I was like,
I what is that?
Response. Like, I think that's really response, like, to whatever.
Because no one is
I just imagine back in there like, I've never heard this before. What the fuck?
Hard. See? Get it?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god,
yeah,
okay.
It's a long way to go for a Die Hard joke, honestly.
That's wild, man.
When did Die Hard come out?
88, I think.
Oh wow, that's a bit after too.
I mean, Die Hard was
a long
popular
time to
then,
try to make that joke. I mean, popular, but like popular enough to
No, Anya would not have a Die Hard poster.
Joke?
That's one of the reasons I think it's annoying that she had a Die Hard poster.
You think she just wouldn't like it?
Well, I don't think she would. I don't buy her as someone who's willing to put the things she likes out in front of other people. So, like, she's not going to put up a Die Hard poster.
What if one of her old roommates had the poster and then died and gave it to her?
Died hard?
Yeah, she died real hard, and then she put it up on her wall.
Hard. Rachel died hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because she's been there the longest, so it could have been something handed down. Like, it might not even necessarily.
Them.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ilonka goes on a hike and finds a spring. And hippy dippy Shasta comes out of the woods.
I like hippy dippy for her.
I totally recognized her, but I had no idea why. And this is Samantha Sloyan, who was in Midnight Mass, who played the most horrifyingly awful person in the world, Bev Keane.
I couldn't remember why she was like recognizable, but I have seen the first episode of that show, and I remember not liking her. I think.
Oh, well, you should watch that show.
You don't really have to worry about spoilers or anything. I've seen the internet, so it's okay.
You've seen the internet, eh?
Yeah, you do have to though, because I literally know nothing.
Oh well, I mean it's a good show. Just watch it. It's a good show. But she plays a religious nut on that show, and like Mrs. Carmody in The Mist. Have you seen The Mist?
I've read
That's the one with the grocery store, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I know exactly.
Oh, I have seen it because the end is different from the book, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the end is,
okay,
horrifyingly different from the book, yeah.
I've read it and I've seen it, and the movie was fucked, wasn't it? Like, the end of the movie is really fucked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when he... Woo! Spoiler! I'm going to cut that out.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't know if you should... That is pretty... It's messed up, though.
Yeah, that's a rough but great movie. Okay, so apparently the healing water is good here. And there are vortexes. And the chamomile is good here. So all these things are good.
Do you just pick chamomile and put it into water and that is tea? You don't have to like dry it or something?
I think you have to dry it. I really do. I don't think you can just make tea out of chamomile.
I see sometimes on YouTube too, like the like cottagecore girls like living their best life, like fairies in the woods, and they're making tea out of flowers, and I'm like, is that right though? Or
I mean,
is that not?
You can make tea out of
but does it taste like tea then, or does it just taste like you were drinking water with some old leaves inside?
Boiled flowers.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I'm gonna have to try
Sounds
it both
delicious,
ways.
Doesn't it?
Can you link me to those YouTube videos?
Yes, I can.
It sounds really comforting.
They're so cool. Sometimes they have music and it's just like this girl's voice with they're usually the ones I find for some reason are like in the UK, so they all have accents from me, and I'm just like, whoa, this is like a magical time.
Nice.
This is what I do in my free time, by the way. Yeah.
That sounds right.
It sounds nice and cozy. It's what you deserve.
Yeah.
So, before we leave here, Shasta disappears back into the woods like some ethereal wood sprite, you know. But Ilonka sees an hourglass carved into the tree. Ominous, more about it's just more stuff for us to think about now.
She tells her name means light, too.
Ilonka means light?
Yeah, and yes. I think she said Polish, maybe? I don't remember. I don't want to get it wrong.
Yes. Okay. Back in the hospice, Anya tries to hit up Spence and Kevin for morphine and complains that she doesn't like Ilonka's whole thing. Which like I agree. I don't like Ilonka's whole thing, so I am with Anya here.
Oh.
I mean, she's fine.
I was rewatching it, the third episode today. Obviously, we're not talking about that now, but just seeing her as a character. And I told Rich, I was like, Cooper can't stand her. And he's like, why? I was like, I don't know. He just doesn't like her, but I love her.
I'm trying. Okay, we're in the other room folding cranes while Cherie plays Ave Maria, which feels a little on the nose for a place where people are dying.
Oh, I didn't
Mesh.
think about that. I thought about Hitman, and I was like, yes, we're gonna get into some cool shit.
No, I just think the only time I hear Ave Maria is at funerals, so it just really feels like play something a little more upbeat.
See, I hear it when I'm sneaking up behind people about to take their clothes and hide them in a trash can. So I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Different
that's
vibe.
fair. Do you think Amesh outsourcing his wish plan of folding 1,000 cranes, do you think that counts? Because he's not folding 1,000 cranes. He's having other people
I think it's cool that he has his minions doing his bidding.
I mean, it's nice. It's nice. I don't think it counts in that ancient wish fulfillment thing, honestly.
I feel like I would like to think that it does, because otherwise it's pretty ableist of a wish fulfillment way. So I don't like it otherwise. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that as long as you're the one delegating the work, it
directing
counts.
it.
Yes.
I do think it's funny that they say we may not have 1,000 sheets of paper when they clearly have a ream right in front of them. 500. I mean, there's probably another ream of paper somewhere in the hospice. So, anyway, it is really cool though, talking about the things to do before he dies plan, and he wants to get laid and go hang gliding. And go to his sister's wedding, right?
Yes, and Kevin is the most supportive friend I've ever heard of in my entire life.
Yeah, because he wants him to go hang gliding into his sister's wedding while getting laid, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, as he should.
Yeah. Okay, Kevin's pretty cool. Though I'm seeing more of James Franco in him.
I see him as Tate from, well, I mean, not as the character, but the guy who plays Tate. You know who I'm talking about?
In what?
American Horror Story.
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters. Okay.
Evan Peters. Yeah. I feel like so what I think is happening is that, and this is just like my speculation, but Evan Peters was to Ryan Murphy what this kid is going to be to Mike Flanagan, because like he just has all of the same things, and he's using him in a lot of different roles and in a lot of his work. And he's got like that same vibe, and like there were a couple
times.
And
he's really good.
Yeah, he is good. And there are a couple times where the lighting honestly reminded me of Evan Peters. And I was like, whoa, like, and the way that Ryan Murphy uses Evan Peters in a lot of his different stuff, I just feel like this is like, in my head, like they're just like different universes where you get like this one producer, director, creator person who's just like, I get my own world and I get to create it now, and I can use a consistent cast if I want. And I like when that happens because it keeps it familiar for me as a person who likes familiarity. So that's what I'm hoping. And I'm hoping he's just going to be, because I'm used to him now and I like him. I'm just like, yeah, you're cool. You're a little oatmeal boy. I love you. So you're great. So, yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with more on the PikeCast. Wow, friends. Where else can you get this kind of programming than the PikeCast? Nowhere. That's where. But we're trying to keep the lights on here. If you like what you're hearing and want it to keep happening, jump over to our Patreon at thepikecast.com/Patreon and throw us a few bucks to join our private Discord server. Higher tiers get books, stickers, bookmarks, and even personalized shirts. That's thepikecast.com/Patreon.
Once, Osgood and Frost were the up-and-coming stars of the burgeoning paranormal investigation TV show craze before a hoax put an end to their friendship, partnership, and television careers. Now, over a decade later, Prudence Osgood is a barely functioning alcoholic ghost hunter for hire. Her yearning for mystery and adventure is reignited when she receives a cryptic, untraceable email. She can't resist embarking on an investigation that tugs threads, winding through a sinister series of disappearances, her former partner's family, and a night 20 years ago when a semi blew a yellow light and nearly killed her. Reviewers are calling Osgood Is Gone a masterfully vulnerable and relatable 21st century horror story. and a bourbon-soaked supernatural mystery with sparkling dialogue that sticks the landing on LGBT characters, and main character Prudence Osgood, as tortured as she is clever, broken in all the best ways, and a true heroine for our times. Buy it today at Osgood Is Gone as a paperback, ebook, or audiobook narrated by me, JJ Ronvier.
Welcome back to the PikeCast. Okay, we are in the room. Is this the library that we're hanging in?
No, well, no, I don't think so, because it doesn't have
just another common room type
kind
thing?
of, and it doesn't seem like
it
doesn't look like the library.
Oh yeah, it's got that big window, so it's probably not the library. Yeah,
and they've got like a big couch, which it doesn't seem like would fit in the library, unless it's a part of the library we don't see. But I think it's like, I don't know, is it the room where they were doing their therapy, maybe, or something?
It might be, because if the cello's in there, maybe that's where the cello hangs out.
Yeah, maybe like the family where they were doing yoga and stuff as well.
Yeah. So Spence cuts himself by being absolutely unconcerned with the use of the paper cutter.
That made me so mad. I have one of those and I have to use it, and it's so frustrating to see him just
you pay attention to the fucking paper cutter or you lose some fingers. He's lucky he only cut himself a little bit.
Yeah.
But he panics and they call for a cleanup, and here's where we find out that Spence has AIDS. And Anya has a really great moment here where she's talking about how AIDS is the only disease people give that face about, that, oh, poor, you're, what is the word for that?
Like pity?
Yeah, pity. It's, So like when they say they have cancer, it's different. It's a different face. But when they say they have AIDS, there's a darker aspect to it. And then Anya leaves, and Kevin talks about that Anya over time has gotten darker. And she started out with the tease and everything, but then has become more bitter as she's gone, which is understandable.
Maybe the Die Hard poster was from when she first got there. When she was
still excited.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to fucking die hard.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, like, I feel comfortable sharing myself with people. And then she shared, and those people started dying around her.
Right.
Yeah.
And now she's just like, fuck this, fuck everything. Like, that feels like understandable for her.
That is, yeah, no, totally.
I can't even imagine living in a room where like your roommates just die left and right,
Yeah, I know, right?
No, I'm too afraid of ghosts too. I'd be like, heck no, this is haunted. This whole place is haunted. I'm sleeping outside.
Okay, so we get an NP sewing up Spence. Is it the same NP? Is it Mark? Because it didn't look like Mark. Okay.
It is.
I don't know why I didn't think it was him. But I loved that he's talking endlessly about Interview with the Vampire. Because I just watched Interview with the Vampire the night before I watched this, which is delightful.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
All the coinky dink.
But Interview is one of many amazing movies that came out in 1994, including Pulp Fiction and Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, I love that movie.
Forrest Gump. Like it was a crazy year for movies, but Interview
the 90s
came
were
out
so good.
And I actually took my first date ever to see Interview with the Vampire.
Did you just watch the movie?
We did just watch the movie, yes.
Well, because sometimes when you go on a date, it's like, we weren't there for the movie.
No, fuck it. If I'm going to a movie, I'm going to a movie. I'm not going to make out.
No, that's fair. Like I've had both.
Like Netflix and chill is fine if you've already watched the movie.
No, see, that's the mistake I made as the 16, 17-year-old, because then I'm like, fuck, I just paid for a movie I didn't even watch. That was stupid. I'm an idiot. Like, I get so frustrated. I'm not seeing this again. I'm not paying twice. Fuck it. Like,
wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I go to Hollywood Video after, have a nice time watching it by myself with some popcorn at home. So comfy. No distractions. No weirdos grabbing me. Yeah, it's great.
Right. Much prefer it that way.
Mm-hmm. Plus, you can go to the bathroom. It's like right down the hall instead of you gotta go downstairs in front of people. I hate that so much.
Yeah.
Having to pee during a movie is the worst. Yes. Or like you're like, scoot your legs, please, a little more. My hips are wide. Like, God, I can't fucking stand it. It's the worst thing.
Wow.
And then you got to turn and you're like, oh, sorry, my butt's in your face. Turn around. Sorry, my vagina's in your face. Like, there's no way to get out if you're in the middle of the aisle. I have a lot of thoughts on movie theaters, so I have not.
I really appreciate you wording the way that I feel about it, because, like, yes.
Yeah, it's
so
frustrating.
Awkward.
Yes. And then also, if it's in the middle of the movie too, when the movie's going, then everybody's like, all I see is your big head. And I'm like, I've got to go to the bathroom. Like, I'm sorry.
Are these like quotes from like real life? Like, does somebody say you have a big head?
These are the things that run through my head literally every time I have to pee during a movie. None of these things have ever happened like in a bad way to me. It's always completely normal, but the whole time, I tell you, I'm not even kidding. I'm such an anxious person. I've gone back after the bathroom and stood next to the door watching the movie from the side of the theater instead of going back to my chair because I did not want to deal with it again. I'm not kidding. I'm not even kidding. And it sounds sad, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm enjoying it here by myself. I'm not going back up there. Fuck it. Like, I hate it. I have not been to the movie theater in like 3 years. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, sorry, Rin.
It's okay. I mean, clearly this is a sore subject for you.
I didn't know.
I mean, this is almost Milk and Little Baby Pig level, I think.
Oh my God.
Do we think that the show is coding Mark the NP as gay?
He is, I think.
So
because he's talking about the guy's in Interview with the Vampire thing, and he's like, he was like very like.
He was into
I think he made like a comment. Yeah, he was like, he was making comments about it that I was like, that's. And the way he like looks at him and he's trying to convey like we are the same, to him.
Yeah,
he's, like,
and he is talking about how AIDS isn't just a gay thing.
Exactly.
So he's also trying to calm him in his panic mode there.
The way that he says Antonio Banderas, like that thick accent. He's
Antonio
into it.
Banderas.
And his accent is better than when I did it earlier.
That's actually how I used to talk about Antonio Banderas before I realized that I was bisexual. It's just, everybody wants to fuck Antonio Banderas from Interview with the Vampire.
Right.
Also, he's in an Original Sin, right?
Yes. That is a sexy movie right there.
16-year-old Cassie saw that movie and was changed forever.
I was gonna bring up Puss in Boots, but that's not as sexy.
Oh my fucking God, Megan, that's a different vibe.
But Puss in Boots is a really good movie.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It is.
Also,
you're right.
Shout out to Shrek and all the Shreks because I fucking love Shrek. That is one of, I cannot tell you how much, like, people don't know this about me, but I love Shrek like that. Also Minions, but Shrek. Like, I love Shrek. So I will sit down. If anybody, it's in the middle of the movie, in the middle of the day, I will sit my ass down and watch the rest of that movie. I'm not even kidding. I love it so much.
It's a classic.
Also Shrek 2.
Iconic.
Not Shrek 3, but Shrek 2.
Shrek 2 I love. Yeah. I
so
think
good.
Shrek 2 is actually better than Shrek 1, in my opinion.
I like them both, but I will say
because it's got Holding Out for a Hero, which is amazing. It does have less John Lithgow, which is not amazing, but it has more John Cleese, which is amazing. I don't know. It's hard. But Jennifer Saunders singing Holding Out for a Hero, that gets me right there.
We got the karaoke at the end of the first movie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, they're both very good. They are both very good.
That's true.
Okay, let's go back to the show.
Sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. It's the coffee and the sugar.
It is.
The 10 sugars.
It's the 10 sugars.
Okay, so clearly, ladies, you don't think that they're coding Mark to be gay. He's just gay, and I'm the fool for thinking they're coding him.
No, I think you might be, because it's not like he just comes out and says it, but I think considering the fact that he is like in his job position and that's like a kid under his care, like it might be be boundaries you're not supposed to cross or things you're not supposed to give, like, about yourself professionally and personally to your patients.
Right.
So yeah.
No, that's very true. So then we have a brief scene where Anya gives the locket to Stanton, and Stanton talks about how she and her son wouldn't get along because he was so much like her, and now she has another person who's like her, and Anya thinks, oh, it's Ilonka, right? And Stanton says, no, it's you who are like me.
It was a nice moment, though.
It was. But then we see Anya seeing the living shadow.
Was this the bathroom scene?
Yes.
Oh, I love that with the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That was so creepy too. Also, I wasn't sure. Does she, when you guys were watching, did you think she jolted back because she was afraid, or did you think something physically shoved her chair back?
I think she was afraid.
Okay.
I
I
think
feel like she like stumbled back in like fear.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's what I thought too. But then the second time, or like when I was rewatching it for a refresher, it seemed so forceful. So I wasn't sure if maybe it had, like,
maybe that
shoved her
too.
somehow.
Right.
We're seeing a lot of these little sort of momentary glimpses of what the entities in this house can do. So, I mean, it's definitely possible she got shoved back.
It would definitely be 10 times cooler if she was shoved back.
Yeah, I thought it would be creepy. Yeah, but I mean, it would be understandable either way because I jumped and I wasn't even in the room.
That was like a really subtle like jump scare, because the jump scare didn't happen when they opened like the light of the eye. It like happened when she jumped back.
Yeah,
and then I jumped. And
yeah.
The show has been very interesting with their jump scares ever since the first one. Like they're relying on them, yes, but they're also sort of giving us these 1-2 punch jump scares where the first part is we see something, but there's no music. And then we see it again, and then there is music to give us the jump scare. It's really interesting what they're doing there.
Like the girl in the street from the first one, you see her just standing at the end of the street, and then suddenly that fucked me up. I was like, oh.
So we get Anya vomiting in the bathroom, and Ilonka gets up for the meeting of the Midnight Club and sees if she needs help. No, Anya is fine. She's too proud to accept help. But then we go to the Midnight Club meeting where Ilonka gives everyone tea and talks about how it came from this,
I'm sorry. She threw away the tea, and then she went to the woods and got chamomile, and then made more tea. So she did throw away the tea. You're right. That's how she has tea again later. It's not her special sleepy time. She's sharing chamomile.
No, it's
okay.
chamomile, yeah. I'm
sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
we got it now.
That helped me figure it out, so thank you.
Yeah, we did the tea math, good. And we're here. Yeah. We've got the tea. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
Even Anya takes the tea, which is nice.
She takes the tea. Okay, I'm so pleased.
Takes the tea. So Anya tells the first story that we really get deep into. We had the little bit of a story last time, but this is the first bigger story called The Two Danias. And this is from the Midnight Club book. And it's actually my favorite story in the Midnight Club book. I think it's awesome that Ruth Codd plays Dana. And I had no idea that she didn't have, that she was missing one leg. Who informed me of that?
I told you. I knew
you
it.
Did.
Yeah, I knew because from the way it was, like she was acting it seemed really like convincing. And so I Googled it because I was like, is she just an actress that's acting this way, or is this something that she knows from experience? And I figured out that she was like really well known online and on TikTok and stuff, specifically because she talks a lot about that and stuff.
But she plays a ballerina seamlessly here. Mm-hmm. And then the devil comes, and the devil is played by Heather Langencamp.
I love it.
In this very ornate, like her hair is all curled up, and she's got tattoos all over her.
I didn't notice the tattoos.
Yeah, go back and look. She's got tattoos on her arms, definitely. But I think she's got one on her neck too, like all over. Yeah.
How did I miss this? How did I miss such an iconic look? I noticed the hair. That's like what really.
Oh yeah, the hair draws you to it.
Yeah.
So Dana is desperate to find more time in her life because she's got all this stuff that she's trying to do, but doesn't have any time to have fun. So the devil makes a deal. Hey, I can split you in two, and you'll both feel the same things, and you can have fun. One of you can do this, one of you can do this. It'll be great. I can't put you back together. But you don't need to give me your soul. No one needs to give me I just want to do this for you. And really, that should be concern number one.
I think it's
the devil just wants to do something for you.
I think it's a pretty good offer.
It is, and it leads to. I remember this being a favorite from all of us in the book is when she has an orgasm sitting between her parents watching TV.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I completely forgot about it until I watched it.
Same.
And I was like, holy shit, like this is happening right now. I know the scene.
Yeah. Also, though, it was so awkward watching her on the bed talking to her mom while she was like,
"Oh my God, yeah, dancing."
I was like, yeah, that was just the most awkward scene. It wasn't even. I'm not even commenting on her like as an actress. It was so goofy.
Yeah.
It was to watch.
She's just like jamming while her mom's
talking.
It
was with these vacant eyes and this big dopey smile. And she's like, It's just so funny. I was like laughing that whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, this is. I really like the way this. Story specifically was shot and designed. It's very theatrical, and I think that is part of Anya's motif because she was a ballerina, so there's theatricality there. And like when she's driving to kill the other Dana, it's like an old movie with rear projection. You know, it looks distinctly old-fashioned, and it's really an interesting back and forth because we have the drug use, we have the cutting. We do, I imagine, see Ruth Codd's actual leg when part of the leg has been amputated.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the idea of not remembering who is the original Dana.
Mm.
Because both would assume they are. And there's really no way to know.
Also, I would like to mention that the other Dana's Alpha, like when she's doing drugs, you know, that like fur coat is iconic. Loves it.
Yeah.
Like that was such a look. I mean, she was kind of like down and out, so she didn't carry that look well. And I do not know why I'm talking about fashion right now, but
it's okay.
It was such a good look.
You can like fashion.
I mean, I don't really know what I'm talking about, though. I just know that I've seen it, and I loved it.
Was it with her little coat?
Yeah, the fur coat.
Yes, when she was walking down, like, the alley or whatever?
Yeah.
That was a good look. It was very, like, Courtney Love, like, in the 90s.
Oh,
like,
totally.
Yeah.
Sorry, we have to give credit to iconic looks when they pop up, okay?
We do. Good job to the costume designer.
Yes.
And good job to everybody on the show, honestly. We love it. But yeah, the looks are really cute, especially
the design
for the
of the show is spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
So then we end this with Dana, one of the Danas, in the hospital, having killed the other Dana, who is now in hell, and both Danas get to feel the same thing forever.
Oh shit! I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
that's
burning.
Yeah,
the living one is just feeling that now.
Ow.
So that's the Tales from the Crypt wrap up there, and I really dig it because I love that kind of story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just and we get Heather Langencamp coming back again and just reinforcing. See, I didn't need to take your soul. I already have it. See, stupid.
There's I think there's a lot of like the way she like hurts herself and stuff in it too. Like there's a lot of like bloody, like painful stuff in it. That's even just like on the side. Like they don't even spend a lot of time doing it, but like the way she's just like stabbing and slicing her own arm and shit. It's just like fuck. Like
and when she stabs herself through the hand. Oof.
Yeah.
The self mutilation was actually really shocking to me that it like went that far.
But it was good stuff. Like that. See, I wasn't fully on board in the last episode, but this story right here, this is what I'm here for.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job adapting it. Like they made a choice by only doing one of the stories from it, but I'm glad they fixed this one, and I'm glad they did it so well.
So this is the only story?
Well, based on the names of the titles.
Okay.
And
okay, interesting.
I'm not saying whether or not any of the other ones are mentioned or anything like that. I'm only specifically because I was publicly shared before the show went out, the titles of them. This is the only one that matched in the Midnight Club by the title. Sorry, I'm trying really hard not to.
No. I shouldn't be prodding you for information.
No, it's okay. I didn't even think about that, so I do want to clarify. Like I was thinking specifically just for titles alone.
Yeah. Okay. So we get out of this story, And Sandra is being really sweet. Like, thank you for sharing. That was a very deep emotional story. And Anya's still a huge dick. Which, sure. I mean, that's just her. If she changed suddenly, it would be out of character. After the Midnight Club, Ilonka is really, really poorly trying to break into Stanton's office. And is scared by Kevin, who I love the moment where he says, I'm going to try something, and if I'm right, it should make you feel really bad about what you're trying to do. And he tries, and the door is unlocked. So I really love that moment. And then Ilonka goes in and steals the Julia Jane file, then stumbles into... I had a problem with this gag because she stumbles into the past, but she stumbles into the movie past, which means sepia tone and grainy film. But is she seeing sepia tone and grainy film, or is that just for us, the audience, to know she's in the past?
I think it's what she's seeing.
Which would then imply she stumbled into a movie, not into the past.
Cooper, I think you're using too much logic here.
I think it's just supposed to be because, like, if you're a teenager watching this and you're just like, oh shit, she traveled back in time. This is how back in time looks. Like, I feel like that's what it's supposed to be. Honestly,
the past looked like that. It was actually, it was like, actually. Well,
so it is supposed to be like kind of like a vision sort of thing as well.
Sure.
So it might be clouded by her own perception of what old timey would have looked like.
Right.
And also she's very sick, so maybe her brain's just doing some wild shit because she's on medication. Like, there's really no telling, honestly. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying, that it is like, who was walking around in Brown World like this?
So it's just, for me as a filmmaker and as a student of this stuff, it feels lazy because it's telling you something with the most obvious but nonsensical way. That's what feels
Pike.
lazy.
That is Pike.
Well, no, you're right. I mean, honestly, everything you could explain it as, if Pike was making this show, this is how he would do it. No, yeah. I get that.
It is. I feel like I do see what you're saying, and I think as a bit of criticism that would stand like very heavily against basically anything else. But I think for what this is, just because of what I'm not saying it's not.
Did you just tell me that this is my first valid piece of criticism?
Well, the other things you said were valid for other things as well. But but I don't know if they're valid for this, considering exactly what it is. Like, it seems like maybe, and I'm not saying they're not, you can feel the way you feel, obviously. I'm not saying anything about that. Like, anyone else listening who agrees with you, you guys are all in your well,
don't worry, the listeners seem to thoroughly agree with the two of you, so I feel like I'm not going to come across in the run of this series.
When you're right, you're right. I just
wow. No, all right, let's move on then. The scary old woman is hungry. With a
grain of salt.
No, I get it. I do. It just feels lazy. But the scary old woman is hungry, and that's the end of our episode. I
do love her. When we got that good old lady back again, I was like, yes, my friend, you creep me out. Come back. Love her. She's so scary. I hate her, but I love her. She's so creepy. Like, if she seems like something out of a Resident Evil game or something to me. Like, she's so spooky. I picture her in that one with the "Welcome to the family, bitch," like whatever. Yeah. Like, she's gonna pop out of a wall at me and start eating my guts. Like, I don't know.
So, what do we think of the episode as a whole? Just did this feel good to you? I mean, I've got my feelings.
I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Let's name our favorite moment from the episode. Let's try to keep it to one this time. Who would like to go first? You can't do one favorite? Come on.
I have like 4.
I have 2.
Okay, let you each have 2. How about that?
Okay. So I have the talk when he's trying to like tell him about Interview with the Vampire and like reassure him when he's giving him stitches, and then
that's
also
great, yeah.
the bathroom creature when Anya gets scared with the eyes and she like jolts back like that.
Yeah, it's the red like light eyes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
You're
jump.
like,
I like
you're
that.
staring at it and you're like, is that a shadow? Is that a shape? Like, what am I looking at? What am I? Oh, fuck, it's got, oh, fuck, like, you know, it's like it's a build up and I love it.
Yeah.
So thankfully Cassie took one of mine, which is the interview, so now I can go faster.
So that means you can use another one. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I'm happy to help.
Yes. I enjoyed the moment where Natsuki was reading Road to Nowhere to Triss.
Yes.
Because I was really proud. I was like, I know that book.
Yeah.
Yes, I forgot about
love
that. Yes.
Yeah.
That was a nice one. And then I'll go with you're a no on the T and maybe a yes on the piss.
Yeah, right.
That was
love
good.
sass. We love sass.
Yeah. That was good sassiness, yeah. My favorite moment from the episode, hands down, is the Venus flytrap extract, and then suddenly Seymour, suddenly seizure. That is wonderful.
That was solid.
But then I loved the whole story, the two Danas. I think that was exactly why I'm here. That the way they shot it, the way they made it, the way they used the characters from the hospice in it, like everything. That was awesome. So I'm on board there. Least favorite moment? Do you have one? I'll say Sepia World is my least favorite moment.
Yeah. It turns out that I'm not very, like, I love gore, but when it comes to, like, sewing somebody's finger up, not a vibe. So
that was rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they showed it. They
did.
Yeah.
So, like, it was an okay scene, but the visuals just were too much for me.
No,
I was watching that scene and I watched myself get stitches because I was scared, but I was like, if I watch it, I'll at least know what's happening. And so like, and I had a camera with me too. So the whole time I was like taking pictures and watching them do my stitches. So when I was watching that on the TV, I was like, oh, that's actually like, that looks pretty similar, like accurate to what happened to my arm. Like, wow, gross.
Yeah. We again have very little sexuality in this. I'm hoping we get more.
No.
We did have the orgasm.
Yes.
Between the parents.
Big part.
So that's awesome. Yay. We have one of our characters actually talking about sex. So wait. Amesh wants to have sex.
I didn't give my least favorite.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you did. Yeah, go ahead.
I just remembered. No, my least favorite is the spiders.
The spiders.
She touches the painting and a lot of little spiders.
Right, and the spiders come out. Yeah, okay.
Okay. If I did that, I would cry, so that's all.
Yeah, that makes sense. But shall we move to the season of passage? No, I'm sorry. Shall we move to last act where we give our final thoughts?
Yeah, sure thing.
Yes.
Okay, who wants to go first with their ratings?
I don't have anything creative to add to my pikes or
that's okay.
Take over my pikes, but I will give it, I don't remember what I gave the last one. I think I gave it a 4. So this one was a bit better, so 4.5.
4.5?
Like, this one was a lot more fun.
Okay.
Like, in terms of the story.
Cassie, where are you at?
I give this one, what did I give the last one? 4.5, I think? Because I gave it 4.
I don't know. You all have to remember that. I didn't write it down.
Oh, dang, you're not our
I can if you would like. I mean, from now on.
Normally you keep score, so we just assumed.
Sure, I know.
Dang it.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what I gave the last one. I'm going to give this one. I think
you gave it 4.5. I think you were very excited about it.
Okay.
Gave it 4.5.
I will give this one also 4 and then a little paper crane, so 0.5. I liked it. I think it is still quite a bit of setup for stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I even felt that way the first time. Yeah, I was watching. I was like, okay, like there's a lot of, and I don't mind it. I know it's necessary, but also there was like a huge part of me that's just like, I want to know what happens. Like, where is all these leads going? So, there's a lot of like anticipation in this, which keeps it from being like full for me. Right. Not full like good, but like 5 stars.
And I believe I gave it 3 last time.
I think so. I believe so.
I think so. I don't think I did 2.5. I think you both would have killed me. 2.5. I think I gave it 3. Now this episode was significantly better. I'm going to give it a 4. I'm still not sold on Ilonka, but that's okay. I'm the curmudgeon-y, grumpy old man of this podcast, so there is that. But definitely an improvement over 1, and it does make me look forward to what is coming. Well, then, let's get out of here. Becca, where can we find more of you online?
You can find me on Instagram, where I talk about books at Read with Bex. You can find me on Twitter at As Told by Bex, and TikTok at As Told by Bex. And I also have an Etsy shop where I sell book sleeves with my sister, and that can be found at Leaping Lily Creations.
Cassie, where can we find more of you online?
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at ControlAltCassie, CTRLALTCASSIE, and you can subscribe to my Patreon, patreon.com/letsgetgalactic, and I share a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff of my art. Or if you want to buy my art or my books, I have an Etsy shop as well, and it is shopletsgetgalactic.com.
And you can find me at coopersbeckett.com and on all the social medias at Cooper S. Beckett. If you're interested in my horror novels, check out thespectralinspector.com. Now, Cassie, where can they find our show?
You can follow us on social media at the PikeCast, and we would really love it if you'd share your pictures of your Pike books with us or your thoughts on the show, and use the hashtag #ShowUsYourPike. You can also subscribe to our Patreon and get access to our Patreon-only Discord, some physical merch benefits, and early access to our episodes at patreon.com/thepikecast.
All right, listeners, your homework for next week is pretty obvious. Watch episode 3 of The Midnight Club, and we will be back to talk to you next week about that. Until then, pleasant dreams.
Woo. That little ending was so cute.
I like it.
I'm going for a different vibe every time.
No, it's nice. It's nice.
You survived the night, friends. You can peek out from under your covers and see the first blues of dawn out the window. Thanks for spending the night with the PikeCast, and we hope you'll join us again next time. Until then, Pikers, pleasant dreams.
Okay, greeting.
We don't got this.
We don't got this.
Let me try that again.
Okay.
Greetings, fellow Pikers, and welcome to the PikeCast, The Midnight Club. I'm Cooper Beckett, and I'm thrilled to be joined by my lovely co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Cassie.
Hi, I'm Becca.
You two are very silly.
I know. I was reading along with you, and when you said I'm Cooper Beckett, I almost said I'm Cassie. I was like, that's not my time. That's not my time. Cassie, cut it out. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Have you guys had regular... Wait, do you guys like coffee?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you had just plain, like, regular coffee from McDonald's?
No.
Yes.
It sounds like it would be really bad, but I don't know why, but I'm, like, obsessed with it, and I drink it, like, every day, because it's, like, $1, and I can't make coffee at home because I don't have all the stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just, like, every day when I have to take Rich to work at, like, 5 a.m., when I'm on my way home, I, like, stop and get my little coffee, and I'm like, nice little warm drink. And so I got it today, even though he didn't have to work this morning, because I was like, I'm recording it, and I'm drinking it now. I'm like, this is so good. I'm like a white lady on a mountain home with, like, her scarf and her little cozy, big, giant bucket of coffee. Fantastic.
With the McDonald's logo.
Yeah, well, yeah, McCafe, because we're fancy in these parts.
That's true. It's not just a styrofoam cup anymore.
No, it's not. They don't give you a sleeve, though, which I don't like because it's sometimes a little hot. But they recognize me now because I'm the same way. And I'm always like, because I really like sugar and cream. But when I ask for like the amount I want, they will not give it to me. They'll always give me less. So I ask for more. So I'm always like, can I have 10 sugar and 5 cream? So now when I go in there and like I go through and I'm just like, can I please have large coffee? And it's always me. So there's like these 2 guys that work there. And when they hear me in the morning, they're like, do you want 5 cream and 10 sugars? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, okay. Yeah. They're really nice. I had a lady today and I think I kind of had like facial blindness because I don't remember ever seeing her before, but she very clearly had seen me before because she was like pointing at me and was like, hey, well, like, and I was like, hey.
Yeah. Let's be honest, Cassie, you are very visible.
I do know that. Yeah. And so the other day it happened too. We went to a different coffee place because I was redeeming my birthday one. So it was like 2 weeks ago, but I went through and the girl was like, oh, it's you. and I didn't know what to do because I didn't recognize you very much. And I was like, oh, it's me. And then I just started fucking cackling because it was so awkward of me. But like, she took it well. And like, Rich was like, I don't know what else you could have said, honestly.
all you could have said is, it's you. Really?
But that's accusatory. I didn't want to. Yeah, maybe today she's not herself. Today. I don't know.
Okay, shall we podcast?
Wait, has this been recording?
Yes, it has. This whole time.
Oh my god. Are you going to
I haven't decided if I want to put it at the end of the episode yet.
I'm so sorry. I thought this was before we officially started. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with more on the PikeCast.
Do I have to go somewhere?
No, I forgot to do that last time.
Oh. Okay.
So now I'm going to bring us back. I like to put it in because I forget otherwise. So let's get back to the show here.